We begin today with an unbelievable report from the Daily Mail, which has just been confirmed by the subject. It's a bombshell in more ways than one. Earlier this month, President Trump announced that he was replacing Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem while she was embroiled in multiple scandals. She drew controversy by making herself the face of a $200 million ad campaign for the DHS, and she was accused of having an affair with her longtime aide, who is technically her subordinate, Corey Lewandowski. Many blamed her for the politically unpopular immigration surge in Minneapolis, and her messaging around it was, she got out too far ahead of her skis, saying things about Alex Preddy, for example, that she couldn't back up, and kind of compromised the whole narrative in doing that. All of that is what got her in trouble. But all of that is kind of nothing compared to what I'm about to tell you. According to the Daily Mail, Noem's 56-year-old husband, Brian, is a secret cross-dresser who wears gigantic fake boobs and wears pink hot pants while he chats online with fetish models who have gigantic breasts. Okay. For the listening audience, we're showing a picture of him that the Daily Mail found and published. Think Kayla Lemieux. Think the Canadian shop teacher. He's clearly put on like a tight little sports bra that's sort of nude colored and has stuffed two enormous balloons down there for his breasts, with the little like tie of the balloon appearing to be like mismatched nipples, and then little hot pink biker shorts below, or maybe they're leggings. I can't see far down enough. Thank God. But in other pictures the Daily Mail got its hands on, you can see him in his tight little leggings trying to look like a woman, but like a freak woman. The Daily Mail reports that it has reviewed hundreds of messages involving Brian and 3 women from the so-called bimbofication fetish area of the internet. I don't know how he finds them, but this is where performers receive outrageously large breast enhancements to obtain a Barbie doll-like look. And I guess he's been paying them to show it off for him, and then he returns the favor in kind. It's relevant. It's obviously very salacious, but it's relevant because the reason, if we had known this, she never would have been confirmed for this post, is it makes her subject to blackmail. It makes her subject to blackmail because if the Daily Mail can find these pictures and this fetish by her married husband, so can our adversaries. And who knows who could go to Kristi Noem when she was DHS secretary and say, you will do the following things, or we will run to the New York Times with these photos. One of the models who messaged with Brian told the Daily Mail, quote, his kink is for huge, huge, ridiculous boobs. Yes, we can see that. According to the report, Brian got in touch with a model using the pseudonym Jason Jackson, that's what he calls himself, and complimented her amazing curves, saying he would treat her like a goddess. Brian asked, how are your boobs? Would you go even bigger? This is unbelievable. I'm sorry, but it's just so absurd what, like, the ubiquitous nature of porn on the internet. It's not like when it used to be like Playboy and Penthouse, and like a man would see a couple dirty pictures and read a dirty forum and move on with his business. Like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And any kink you have can be indulged, including like this. I mean, this is a form of cheating. There's no question. Like, ladies, can you imagine if you found out your husband was doing this? And he's not just looking at photos. He's interacting with the so-called bimbos, as I espoused here, quoting him, how are your boobs? Would you go even bigger? Yeah, I'd consider that cheating. He's clearly getting off to the sight of these women who have just mutilated themselves for the pleasure of random strangers online. And then he's returning the favor. He's doing it himself. Like, that's a totally different fetish where then you've got to do it. That's autogynephilia. That's what most of these trannies have, where you get off. It's a sexual fetish. How many times have we discussed this? You get your rocks off dressing like a woman. And then so much the better if other women are around you or see you doing it. That's clearly one strain of what Kristi Noem's husband apparently has. And don't tell me it's just the Daily Mail and we don't know, because she's just confirmed it, okay? This story's real. We're going to have to deal with this because she's still in the government. She's not in her DHS post, but she's been offloaded to this new commission that the president created, and she's serving there right now. Brian telling this one model that the Daily Mail made contact with that she inspired him to dress like a girl. Quote, "You turn me into a girl. Should I put on leggings?" No, for the love of God, do not put on the leggings, because those pictures may be even more disturbing than the enormous fake breast Kayla Lemieux wannabe photos. I mean, honestly, that's what he looks like. That level of breast enhancement and perversion, though he's not wearing a wig. And by the way, his face is all over the photos. He's not even trying to hide his identity as the spouse of the Department of Homeland Security chief. Here he is in another one of his little outfits with the same giant fake breasts, giving a kissy face. Is that what that is? I don't like, he does the close up of the fake breasts. And then is it a kissy face? Abigail Finan and I were debating it backstage, where Abby made more just like a sourpuss, but I don't know what that is. But I can speak for all women in America when I say we don't want to see our husband doing it. I mean, I feel for Kristi Noem. It puts a totally different spin on the affair she's allegedly been having with Corey Lewandowski. Who could blame her? Who could blame her? It feels almost noble at this point. I mean, like, it's not noble. I mean, they're both married and have children and all the bit. I'm just saying it definitely gives a different look at it, because you never know what's going on in someone's marriage. Now, I'll get to what she's saying. She's suggesting she didn't know. So I guess technically it wouldn't justify the affair. But even if you don't know, don't you know, as a wife? You know, I had a dear friend who had a husband who cheated on her for years and years. And she finally found out when one of the women came forward to her. And my friend didn't know, like, we were all shocked, but my friend had been manifesting, I think, knowing without knowing, in multiple health problems and stress and anxiety that had been plaguing her. I really think it's very hard for a spouse to get away with this for years, for, you know, who knows how many years this has been going on with him, without the other spouse having something internal tell them something is off. Maybe I'm just telling myself that you'd know, because we all want to think we'd know. Anyway, back to the story. A PayPal account associated with this Jason Jackson, again, that's Brian, would regularly send the woman money in installments, typically between $500 and $1,000. That's your tax money going to use there. In total, he allegedly paid the models at least $25,000. The Daily Mail got in touch with Brian, and he did not, notably, deny having explicit online conversations with these so-called Barbie or bimbofications, and nor of sharing photos of himself dressed as these so-called bimbos. So he did deny the notion that Kristi Noem could have been blackmailed over it. Okay, well, he doesn't know. I mean, that's not deniable. That's for us to decide whether she was could have been subjected to blackmail over it. But he did not deny that it was him. So, you know, it's a scoop by the Daily Mail. And it turns out, you know, the right wing may have its own Kayla Lemieux, though I don't think we own Brian Noem. But this is Kayla. Maybe the two of them can meet up. Kayla is a male, was the Canadian teacher who wore the fake Z-cut breasts in school. Take a look at them side by side. They're basically twins. They're twinning. There's enough breast between these two to take up an entire aisle at the grocery store. You think you like the chicken breast? Nothing. This is pounds and pounds of breast. I don't know what was in Kayla's fake boobs, but we are told that Brian's is balloons. That's how it looks. And now we get a comment from Kristi Noem, who tells the New York Post she's devastated by these allegations. It's some representative of hers saying she is devastated. The family was blindsided by this. They ask for privacy and prayers at this time. I mean, she's got them. She's got them. This is not what you want to see if you are married to anyone, to find out that this level of betrayal has happened. This speaks to somebody's entire character. The fetish, yes, but the lying, the deceit, the money, the getting off with another person, not your spouse, all of it is very dark and dirty and disgusting. And I'm sure whenever she found out, whether it was today or previously, I'm sure it's made her skin crawl, like it's making our skin crawl. And just what an incredibly reckless risk for her husband to have taken, given the position she just held for the first year of the Trump administration. It's not the president's fault. It's her husband's fault. And I wouldn't be so. They've been married since they were they're sweethearts since they were in high school. He's talked about it. She came on our show and talked about it. She was a young rancher's daughter. They met. They fell in love. I actually think we queued some of this up. Here is, let's see. Yeah, he gave an interview to Moms for America in April of 2021. And here he is talking about how his relationship with Kristi started. SOT 3.
We were friends, and I was a classmate with her brother. And so I was acquainted with her throughout high school. And then she went to the same college I did. We started dating when she was in high school, and she went to college. And then just, the typical off and on relationship. And we finally started to get serious. And then we, I asked her to marry me, and of course she said yes. And so, but we grew up in the same community, going to the same school, with the same group of friends, raised on a farm with the same kind of upbringing, good values, hard work. And when I went to college my freshman year, I'd heard that she had some interest in me. And then, of course, why wouldn't I have interest in her? She's remarkable. So we started dating then, and then it kind of went from there. And in 1992, we got married.
It really does make you wonder what causes a fetish like this in somebody. I remember Deborah So came on the podcast early on before we even had video, and she's a specialist in this kind of thing, in these sex fetishes. And she really thinks that they should be normalized and that we shouldn't stigmatize them. I mean, this is a different scenario given Kristi's role, given the money that changed hands, given the fact that she's saying this was a secret from her. But okay, let's say it wasn't a secret, or it isn't in some marriages. Like, what causes it? And Deborah So told us that one of the weirdest fetishes she ever dealt with was people who get turned on by the idea of an animal eating them for lunch. Like, what causes that? What happens to you in your childhood that makes that be your thing, or makes this be your thing, where it's not only like the enormous breasts on a woman. I think a lot of men could say, yeah, I'm into that, but like the grotesquely enormous breasts, and then you put them on? I don't know. I would like to understand that better. Not that much better. Thanks for watching this clip. If you're new here, subscribe. We got a whole lot more goodness where that came from. Would love to hear your feedback. You can email me too, Megyn, Megyn, at megynkelly.com, or just leave a comment below. But join the community by becoming a subscriber. We really, really value your input and your support. We may not always agree, but we are always going to talk about it and respect. No BS, no agenda, no fear. Think about this. In 2006, $20,000 equaled roughly 33 ounces of gold at spot price. At today's prices, those 33 ounces would be worth about $165,000. That's why many smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals. And that's why you should consider buying gold from Birch Gold Group. For thousands of years, gold has been a store of wealth. And today it's a crucial part of any balanced strategy. Even better, Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered retirement account in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold. Now that's peace of mind. Again, text MK to 989898 today.